They say you can't change the past, but sometimes one letter can change everything, even what you thought you knew about yourself. I opened the envelope 10 years after his death. Inside, just a few pages, but between the lines, a lie that had built my whole life. I found it by accident. Well, not really. I always knew where it was, but I'd avoided that box for years as if it were poisoned. Today, while cleaning the closet, my hand reached for it on its own. A yellow envelope. My name. My father's handwriting. I hadn't seen it in 10 years, yet I recognized it instantly, like the smell of home. My hand trembled. I put it back. "Mom, what's that?" Sam shouted from the kitchen, clattering cups. "Nothing," I replied too quickly. "Just old papers." My father died in late March. Spring was cold that year. It rained almost every day. At the funeral, I remembered not the faces, only hands, cold, damp, holding my shoulders, my arms. After the ceremony, Aunt Grace, his sister, handed me an envelope. "This is from him. He said to give it to you, but not right away." "Not right away? Is this a joke?" "No, it's been with me for 10 years. He told me to wait, until the right time." I hid it in a box of old documents, because otherwise, I would have torn it to pieces that same day. Today, I finally took it out. I knew that once I read it, there'd be no way back. I made tea and sat down. The letter lay in front of me. "Mom, I'm going to Jack's, okay?" Sam peeked in. "Okay, don't forget your scarf." When the door closed, I tore the envelope open. "Anna, if you're reading this, I'm already where no one asks for explanations. But you're my daughter, and I owe you the truth I've hidden for half my life." My throat went dry. He wrote neatly, each sentence like a shot. He said I wasn't born in the city I thought, that my birth date was forged, and that the woman I called my mother wasn't. I reread that line 3 times. "That's nonsense," I whispered. He wrote about Maria, his real love. Her family had forbidden their marriage. She got pregnant, but fell ill with tuberculosis and died 3 days after I was born. He was working shifts then. No way to raise a baby alone. That's when Helen, his ex, came back into his life. She had lost her child in the 7th month. Together they changed the documents and made me hers. I didn't tell you while I was alive because I feared you'd hate us both. But Helen loved you like her own. She saved me, and you, I sat frozen. All my childhood memories, every strange phrase she'd said, they suddenly made sense. Once as a teenager, I asked her, "Mom, why don't you ever scold me for bad grades?" She smiled sadly. "Because I'm just happy you exist." My fingers dialed Aunt Grace. "Auntie," I read the letter. Pause. "Then the time has come." "Is it true?" "All of it." "He was scared it would destroy you." "Where is she buried?" "In a small village called Riverton." "I can take you there." A week later we went. The road felt endless, as if time itself stretched to let me think it through. Maria's grave was at the edge of the cemetery. No photo, just a cross and a nameplate. Maria V., 1967-1989. We had no memories. But blood is memory that can't be erased. "Hello, Mom," slipped from my lips. Grace placed her hand on my shoulder. She was beautiful and stubborn, like you. We stood there in silence, wind chasing dry leaves across the snow. It felt like I'd just stepped into a life that had been waiting for me all along. That night, I sat holding the letter. At the end he had written, "Don't be angry with me. Sometimes truth comes not when we want it, but when we're finally ready to bear it. He was right. 10 years ago, I wouldn't have survived this. Now it still hurts, but I'm stronger. I put the letter back in its envelope, but this time not in a box, in a jewelry case where I can see it. Because it's no longer poison. It's part of me. And sometimes I wonder, if he hadn't written it, would I still be living happily in a lie?